The answer is a name we've given to our final second year assignment, which is to produce 3 editions of video magazine programme for the BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts. In the first edition, we look at the problem of litter. We have an informal chat with Mr. Toy, our new principal. We introduce you to Denise Wilson from Student Services, and we spend a day in the Department of Performing Arts. The performing arts is not all dwellings and lobbies. It's actually quite the opposite. Each day begins with a 30-minute warm-up, which is designed to get students physically and mentally in tune for the day ahead. Students also attend voice and speech classes to help develop their skills in voice projection and self-confidence.
What you've just seen is a combination of, after we'd worked individually, I then like to work in groups. So people get used to working with each other, obviously, working with other voices, doing harmony work. And generally, I also like to finish on an up.
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
But since I came to the course, it's really brought out my character a bit more. I was confident in a way, but I was very, very shy in everyday situations. I couldn't meet people. I would shy away from meeting people, and since I came here, my personality has just exploded, really.
You're a fucking wonder. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It's all to do with inner calm, you know. Through nose, out mouth.
Unfortunately, we're not always allowed to play with plasticine and paints. But when we can, as in this makeup and prosthetics lesson, we certainly make the most of it.
I'm taking BTEC, first year BTEC in makeup, stage makeup, specialised makeup. At present we're working through latex and special effects.
When you say specialised makeup, what do you mean?
Special effects makeup. Working with prosthetics and a lot of latex work, a lot of little guts basically.
Right.
Seems to appeal very much.
Right. And where were you trained?
Oh, I did a BTEC course in beauty therapy. Then I went on and I did a specialised course at Clowns in London, in a specialised makeup course. Very, just all over the shop. Then I've worked everywhere you want to know.
Well, I think it's given me confidence in performing, things like that. And I've found out a lot of things about technical equipment and stuff that I really didn't have a clue about. And learning about how studios work and things like that, you know.
A lot of experience which I wouldn't have got had I been at any other college. The free rein on the use of equipment is excellent here. I would never have got that at Tynemouth College.
Treading the boards isn't always as glamorous as it may seem. After 2 years on this course, you too could look like this. Starstruck? And for more information, call the Answer team. Some of us have, few of us haven't, and most of us feel awkward about doing it in public. Now come on now, hands on hearts, which of us has never done it?
Yeah, if there's a bin there, I won't drop it. I'll go put it in the bin.
Well, can't find bins anywhere or things like that?
Occasionally I drop a certain type of litter, which is cigarette butts. And that's because if we were to stub a cigarette out and put it in the bin, there's a risk of it going on fire, and that's why I wouldn't put it in the dustbin.
The bins all around. The plastic nipper, put them in the bins. They'll burn.
Because they're lazy and they can't be bothered to go to the bins.
We're actually managing to control the litter outside the main campus, because both with the caretaking staff and also the car park staff are paying particular interest to it. There is a difficulty with this site in that people seem to empty their litter at the back end of the college, and also, if you probably noticed, the wind is very strong. It blows directly things into the college. I think the most appalling things are actually in the refectory in the students' area. And I really fail to understand why students just can't sometimes just put the stuff in the bin. When you think that we potentially have, 10,000 full and part-time students, and such a small number of people could make decisions, it could be quite worrying, because you could get the Students' Union, which does have quite considerable funds at its disposal, controlled and run by a small group of activists, and I don't think that's really in the interest of the students' body. I think the question should be really directed to the students: is do they want a students' union? And if the question to that is, as the government seems to suggest, is that no, they don't, then that may be why the government is suggesting that you only pay for the students' union if you want to belong to it, and not as they have at the present time, where they have an automatic transfer of money to them. I think it's important that you do have a good students' union, but I think it's very much in the hands of the students, and if they don't want it, presumably that's why they don't take part and they don't get involved. You can concentrate your efforts on it. I think people do need to come in. I mean, particularly if you're in school, it's a very different experience from a school, and you need to see that. It can also be very reassuring, I think, for parents who are worrying about what they see as a very large institution. And if you can also get industry and commerce to come, you begin to show them about the quality of the facilities, and they tend to, still to a certain extent, have views about further education, about the sort of grime and the old style education. So they're very, very important, but they have to be successful. And so I think, we'll see what this day on the 19th is like. Besides my teenage children, who take up a lot of time in terms of taking them around either to sport or to boyfriends, then my main interest is sport, in particular during the winter rugby and the summer cricket.
Well, the Student Advisory Service is a college-wide service set up for all students in order to support them. I mean, basically we have a counselling service here, personal counselling, careers counselling and academic counselling. The advisory service is part of a much larger support service, which includes the tutoring system. So my job here is to coordinate not only this counselling service and information service, but also the pastoral side of the college, which is about 120 tutors, all set up in order to help students to gain entry into the college and to make the best of their college life while they're here. You know, what choices people make out there, well, that's up to them. We've all got those choices to self-destruct if we want to. I hope that in the future the advisory service and the whole of the student support service, in fact, will be outside of a department and will be funded separately. I think that will probably happen. In fact, last year we didn't have a budget at all in here, so I had to go and ask for every single thing that we needed. I don't think this was uncommon in the college. I mean, the student will be helped like any other student through the advisory service, whatever it is that they're needing.
In this section, we show you events that happen in and around the college. We interviewed Lisa Andrews, who brought her one-woman play, The Same Old Story, to North Tyneside College.
I mean, did you hear the one about the 3 women? There was an English woman, an Irish woman, and another Irish one.
My idea for doing the play was that I felt that the British media only gives us a very narrow perspective of the situation in Northern Ireland, and it's a very one-sided, biased side that we see. So I wanted to redress that balance by showing an insight into things that happen in Northern Ireland that we, as English people, probably are not aware of.
Roger Harvey wrote Guinevere Jennifer to explore the universal power of women to direct men's actions. Guinevere becomes the leading influence at the court of King Arthur, and so to the future, where her incarnation wields the same womanly power. Eileen Squires performed this 2-act monologue, which spans 14 centuries in the space of one performance. Okay, that's it for this edition. We hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please call us on Tyneside 252 6207. We hope to see you in the next edition. Bye for now.
Thank you, studio. That's a wrap.
You didn't hold it long enough. Was I all right, darling? Was I? Welcome to the second edition of The Answer. Welcome to sunny Whitley Bay. It's June, it's summer and it's freezing. But don't despair, because we've got a sun-packed, fun-packed programme for you. This edition we visit the Hairdressing and Beauty Therapy Department and ask, is beauty a semi-permanent condition? We talk to Siobhan Hunt and Peter Hall from the Student Union and check out, is this really the beginning of the end? We look at smoking and have another session with Denise Wilson. We also check on the working progress of second year's final assignments, 2 theatre productions, Bouncers and Shakers. And it's a happy birthday celebration to George Stevenson, 200 years down the line. And for a distinction, can anyone tell me what the following mean? High frequency, vacuum suction, Faradic, galvanic. No? Well, they're all forms of beauty treatments, which we found out about when we went along to the Hairdressing and Beauty Therapy Department at North Tyneside College. Mrs. Baldwin and Mrs. Armstrong run the 2- and 3-year courses, which include qualifications in City and Guilds, City and Guilds NVQ and BTEC. Students, depending on the courses they have chosen, are trained in all aspects of hairdressing and beauty therapy. When a girl wants to look her very best because of that date with danger, there's no end she won't go to. Beauty, like a car, needs maintenance, so put yourself in the hands of the professionals. They can't promise to make you into a raving beauty overnight, but given time and the correct treatments, anyone can expect an improvement in their appearance. Over a lifetime, the average smoker will get 73,000 shots of nicotine.
I don't want to give up because I'll just eat loads and put on loads of weight.
Smoking doesn't control weight, unless, of course, you get cancer.
People who actually smoke and blow it into your face, it just gets just as annoying.
Smokers put non-smokers at risk every time they light up.
Because I enjoy it and it helps me nerves.
Smoking doesn't help the nerves, it actually aggravates the nervous system.
Well, when it first started, I suppose when they invented tabs, it was all right because everyone thought it was brilliant and it was trendy to smoke. But now we know how bad it is, so why do people smoke? I mean, you wouldn't walk in front of a bus.
A recent survey shows that 30% of the adult population still smoke, regardless of all the dangers related to smoking.
So you had to be one of the lads, you know, it was a fun thing to do.
Many smokers began smoking through peer group pressure.
I think it's an absolutely disgusting habit. It's really disgraceful. It is filthy, dirty, unsociable, unhealthy.
And so say all of us.
In the next 10 years, there will be an estimated 20 million deaths due to smoking.
We stand for their rights, we stand for their, any problems they've got, we may help them out or send them down to the student advisory. So we liaise with the student advisory quite a lot on problems with grants and family problems, issues like that. Presently, there's 4 executive members, which consist of President, Vice President, Women's Officer and Welfare Officer. We had elections 3 weeks ago, which we now have a union at the moment of 9 members running the union. But unfortunately 2 of us will be leaving, so that will leave 7 members. Well, every position has been filled, except for a welfare officer and a treasurer. If students come forward between now and September, or even after September, we are able to co-opt them on within a general meeting, if the students agree. How they vote? Well, by the usual ballot form elections, we have electoral hustings, which every single person who's standing has a 2-minute speech, and then students are allowed to decide, and then they're given ballot papers, votes that way, and then it's all counted up, and that's it. Yeah, 210, something like that, 210 votes. I don't really believe in the closed shop of the Students' Union, which is automatic membership. It's a very hard issue to discuss. If you don't have automatic membership, students are so hard up at the moment anyway, it's going to be very hard for them to afford to be able to, even though it's only £4, that £4 students might say, well, I'd rather put it to at a use that they think of, but that £4 in the long run is superb for them, because if they want to go on an educational excursion that the college might not be able to afford, but the Students' Union gives a lump sum, approximately £200 to each department every year. And we support great, like the football team, we've just bought new football strips which cost £300. The money is put to superb use, and I think they gain a lot out of that.
Actually, alcohol is perhaps even a greater problem, especially for young people. Now, what I'm not pretending to do is to come down here and be a sort of expert in all of this, because I'm not. As you know, my role is a student counsellor here, so I do see students who are using drugs badly. And by badly, I mean to the detriment of their health. That first paragraph there tells you that absorption is very rapid, and in fact within 4 minutes of having a drink it becomes absorbed into the bloodstream, which is very, very quickly when you think about it. Peak level of alcohol in the blood is reached approximately 1 hour after taking a drink, so that if you are breathalyzed an hour after taking more than the limit, then that is going to be your peak time when you're likely to register on the scale. Anybody know anything about flashback?
Only 2, right? It also depends on whether you're talking about pure drugs as well.
If you're talking about pure LSD or if you're talking about what's on the market now,
it's totally different.
It's totally different.
I mean, really what we're saying is you don't... Any dealer is going to promise you that it's pure and fine. Yeah. They're not going to tell you that it's mixed. Yeah.
A group of first-year performing arts students were called on to exhibit their acting skills in a celebration of George Stephenson's achievements throughout his lifetime. Can you tell me what your role is here and who you are, and tell me a little bit about yourself?
Right, I'm David Barlow. I'm what's called head of the drama service for North Tyneside Education Authority, and I'm working with the education department and the museum service on this project.
Right. Can you tell me what the celebration is about? What's it all about?
Yeah, it's to commemorate George Stephenson's birthday, which is on the 9th of June. And the basic idea was to draw in children from the North Tyneside area, bring them into the museum, but instead of just simply visiting and seeing stationary engines and stationary exhibits, to bring them into a kind of living history environment in which they would begin to find something out about the life of George Stephenson and what he achieved.
Stationary engine, which these are called locomotives because they move.
As Susie brought us to, and helps you when you can. This school is important to him. You'll get every chance I can give to him.
You're both so busy these days. Him with his books and his drawing, and you with your machines and your mending.
The actor's been
Very good.
you pleased with them?
I am indeed. I couldn't really praise them too highly. We've had quite a difficult task on our hands just to get the work together, to get it rehearsed enough to be able to make it performable. And what's really delighted me has been the attitude, the reliability of people. Even when we've had somebody who has obviously this week been taken fairly seriously, or so we think. A couple of people have stepped in at no notice whatsoever and covered that part admirably, so I've been very, very pleased with the company.
Yeah.
And now for a sneak preview of bouncers and shakers.
Cruel world the morning after, or the month after when the curse hasn't taken its spell. I want to touch them, squeeze them, keep them safe. Smell like pomander, a lingering spell. Back the same day.
You got Carol,
Adele,
Nikki, and Mel.
we work in a bar.
That is worse than hell.
We serve the drinks.
We serve the food.
You've got to be nice.
I've never ever rude.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you say.
It's a happy, smiling face.
That comes your way.
Ting! One frost over.
One pina colada.
One happy hour from 6 or 7. One brace of TV producers. And one would-be actress. Thank you.
Keep going.
Sorry you were closed.
Yeah, we have been here for 7 hours.
Don't remind me. You should have come earlier, love.
Sorry.
It's 1 o'clock in the bloody morning. What do you think we are?
It's because we're in the main street. You always get them, especially the weekends. Trying to get a last drink as they're passing on the way to the taxi round. Because the lights are always on.
Well, it's stupid that. Grease and electricity.
It's supposed to look all classy.
What a laugh.
Well, that's it for another edition. We really hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget, if you've got any questions or suggestions, call us on Tyneside 252 6207. Bye for now. Hello.